I've literally started over from scratch with nothing more than what was in my head and still became successful at dropshipping, which means that I'm living proof that you don't need the perfect opportunity or a startup budget to make it big. You just need the fundamental skills that I'll be sharing with you today. And the best part, it's easily achievable even if you work a 9 to 5, just like I did when I started out. Now look, I know exactly where you're at right now. You're probably sitting at home after 9 to 5, scrolling through videos, trying to figure out how to escape that daily grind. And dropshipping seems like the perfect solution, right? Low investment, no inventory, and the potential to make some serious money while you sleep. But you're also probably overwhelmed with all the different advice out there. Should you be using Facebook ads, TikTok? What products should you be selling? How do you even set up a store? And listen, I get it because I was exactly where you are not too long ago. That's why in this video, I'm gonna show you the exact step-by-step process to start a Shopify dropshipping business in 2025, even if you have zero experience and are starting with basically no money. And I'm not gonna waste your time with generic advice like find a good product or build a store. I'm gonna give you the exact 2025 playbook that I wish someone had given me when I first started. And before we dive in, let me just quickly share something personal that should paint the picture of how powerful knowledge actually is. You see, a few years back, I had to start completely from scratch. A disaster wiped out everything that I owned. My apartment, my belongings, everything was gone overnight. But here's the thing, I still had the most valuable asset, the knowledge in my head. I already knew exactly how to build a profitable dropshipping business, and that's something that nobody could take away from me. With just my laptop and that knowledge, I was able to build a brand new business that generated $1.7 million in just 5 months. That's why I'm so passionate about teaching this stuff, because once you learn these skills, they're yours forever, no matter what life throws at you. And with that said, let's jump straight into the process so you can develop those skills for yourself as well. The first step to starting your Shopify dropshipping store is choosing the right niche. Now, most people will tell you to follow your passion or pick something that you're interested in. But in 2025, that advice is outdated and it can actually hurt your chances of success. So instead, here's what you need to do. First, you want to find a niche that hits the sweet spot between passion, profit, and practicality. Let me break that down for you. Starting with passion. Yes, you should be somewhat interested in that niche, but it doesn't have to be your life calling. Next is the profit. The niche needs to have products with good profit margins, where you're aiming for at least 2.5x of the product cost itself for what the current market is selling the product for. Then practicality. You see, now this is where most beginners go wrong. Your niche needs to be practical for dropshipping, meaning that the products that you sell shouldn't be too heavy, too fragile, and oversaturated. This is important because you don't want to add potential problems before you even get started. For example, let's say that you sell something like luxury wine glasses or gym equipment. Well, you're basically shooting yourself in the foot because problems like broken products and massive shipping costs due to the weight will be an everyday thing that you have to face. So instead, you want to choose products that will always have a smooth time traveling across the world. And small gadgets, those are ones that often work the best. So these are the requirements. But how do you actually find this perfect niche? Well, it's a lot easier than it may seem at first. Because you see, most beginners, they struggle to find a niche that actually makes sales. They often choose the oversaturated ones that just seem cool, and then later wonder why they're not getting any results. But that's not even the worst part. They then spend weeks, if not months, building a store around a product that was doomed from the start. No sales, no growth. Just wasted time and effort, which is exactly why I use AutoDS to skip past that, and why you should too. AutoDS has been a game changer for my business because it doesn't just show you random products. It shows you products that are actually selling right now, based off of real-time data. Plus, it gives you insights into profit margins, competition levels, and even shipping times. Basically everything that you need to make an informed decision about your niche. So the key is to avoid ultra-competitive niches like general fashion or electronics, and instead, look for specific sub-niches with passionate buyers. For example, instead of fitness equipment, you might focus on home yoga equipment for beginners. That is much more specific and way less competition. And just to make this even better for you, I've also secured a special discount with AutoDS, which you can access from the link down below this video. So make sure to not miss out on this because finding the right niche will either make or break your store. Now that you've chosen your niche, it is time to build your store. This right here is where most beginners get stuck and end up wasting weeks trying to perfect every little detail. But here's the truth. In 2025, you don't need to be a web designer or spend weeks building your store. Thanks to AI, you can have a professional looking store up and running in less than an hour. First, you'll need to sign up for Shopify. And I've already got a special link in the description down below that will give you your first 3 months for just $1, which is perfect when you're just starting out and trying to keep costs low. So once you sign up for Shopify, here's where the magic happens. Instead of trying to design your store from scratch, you're going to use the AI Store Builder. This tool is absolutely incredible. You just enter in your niche, pick some basic design preferences, and it builds an entire professional store for 100% free in only a couple minutes. I'm talking about a professional design homepage, product page templates that are optimized for conversions, and trust badge and elements that boost sales. So what used to take me weeks to build a store from scratch, now only takes a couple minutes. And the stores that it builds achieve conversion rates 2 to 3 times higher than beginner built stores. So here's a quick tip. When using the AI Store Builder, don't just accept the default settings. Take an extra 15 to 20 minutes to customize the colors, logo, and overall feel to match your niche. You see, this small step can dramatically increase your conversion rates. And the reason that this tool is so powerful is that it's built on data from thousands of successful stores. It knows exactly what elements that you need to have on your homepage, what your product pages should look like, and how to structure your checkout process for maximum conversions. In the description down below, I've included a link where you can get started with this free AI Store Builder and build your store in the next hour. And hey, if you've been gaining value from this video so far, then make sure to comment START along with your biggest takeaway for a chance to win a free one-on-one consulting call with me, where we will map out your dropshipping game plan from A through Z to ensure that you get success. So with your perfect niche and store ready to go, it is time to find the winning products that you'll fill it up with. This is the biggest make or break step for your dropshipping business, because you could have the best looking store in the world, but if you're selling products that nobody wants, you're not gonna be making any money. So the question is, how do you find winning products in 2025? Well, first, forget about using AliExpress to browse randomly. This method is dead. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Possible, but extremely time consuming. So instead, you need a data-driven approach. Here's my 3-step product research method that you can follow right now. Data analysis. Use AutoDS to find products that are already selling well. Their trend analysis tool shows you exactly what's hot right now, with real sales data to back it up. Competition check. Look at how many other dropshippers are selling this exact same product. Because if everyone and their mom is selling it, you're gonna have a hard time standing out. But also, make sure to not reinvent the wheel. You wanna pick something that clearly is working, but isn't the most popular one out there. That way, you'll hit the sweet spot between supply and demand. Profit margin verification. You wanna make sure that the product has at least a 2.5x profit margin. That gives you room to run ads and still be able to make money. Now, another thing that I absolutely love about AutoDS is that it shows you the trend score for each product. This is like a snapshot of how popular a product is right now, where you wanna be aiming for products with a trend score of 7 or higher. But here's a pro tip. Don't just look at the current trend score. Look at the trend history, where you wanna be finding products that are consistently trending up, not ones that just spiked up one time and are now declining. When evaluating products, also consider these 3 factors. Problem solving. The best products solve a specific problem for your customers. Wow factor. It should have something unique or surprising that make people want to share it. And lastly, impulse purchase potential. The price should be low enough that people can buy it without too much thought. For example, one of the best performing products that I've seen recently is a portable pet water bottle with a built-in bowl. It solves a clear problem: hydrating pets on the go. Has a wow factor, which is the clever design, and is priced low enough for an impulse buy. Remember, product research, it's not a one-time thing. In 2025, trends, they move fast. So you should be constantly researching and testing new products in your niche to always stay ahead of the curve. And now that you have your store and your products, you now need to set up your supply chain. This is what makes dropshipping different from traditional e-commerce, because you don't have to hold any inventory. And for those of you who don't know what a supply chain is, it just essentially explains how your product gets from the suppliers into the hands of the customers. So a customer places an order, it gets sent to the supplier, they package it, ship it to the customer, and then you keep a percentage. That's your supply chain. Now in 2025, there are 2 main approaches to dropshipping supply chains. There is traditional dropshipping, where you're working directly with suppliers, usually from China, or there's domestic dropshipping, where you're working with suppliers in your own country. Traditional dropshipping typically offers better profit margins, but way longer shipping times, while domestic dropshipping has thinner margins, but much faster shipping. For beginners, I recommend starting with traditional dropshipping to learn the ropes. Then, as you scale, you can transition to domestic suppliers or even consider holding some inventory for your best-selling products. So here's how to set up your supply chain. First thing you want to do is connect your Shopify store to AutoDS. This is going to allow you to import products directly from suppliers and automate much of the fulfillment process. Next, you want to choose your suppliers carefully. You want to be looking for communication quality, like do they respond quickly and is it clearly? Then processing times, asking yourself how quickly do they ship after an order? And last, product quality. Getting order samples if possible. This is how you can always ensure that you're selling a good, high quality product. You see, one mistake that I see beginners make is using the cheapest supplier that they can find. This almost always backfires when the quality is poor or shipping times take forever. Instead, focus on finding reliable suppliers who may charge a little bit more, but deliver consistently good products on time. It is worth a slightly smaller margin for reliability. Also, always have backup suppliers for your best-selling products. Nothing kills a dropshipping business faster than a supplier suddenly running out of stock or just disappearing. After I found my first winning product and I started scaling, I learned a crucial lesson about managing success. In just 5 months, I went from having nothing to generating over $1.7 million in revenue and $450,000 plus in profit. Let me just say that success was incredible, but it also came with new challenges. As the orders started pouring in, I had to make sure that my supply chain could handle the volume. One small hiccup in the supply chain could have derailed everything that I'd already built. That's why I always recommend having backup suppliers in place from day one. It might seem excessive when you're just starting, but it's so much easier to set this up before you need it than to scramble when you're in the middle of rapid growth. And now that you got your store, you've got your products, and you've got your suppliers, you need customers. But interestingly, this isn't actually the part where most dropshippers fail, even though it may seem like it. Most of them fail in the next step, purely because they fail to realize its importance. But before we get into that, let's get you some initial customers. In 2025, there are several ways to drive traffic to your store, but not all of them are created equally. Let me go ahead and break down what actually works for complete beginners. Starting with TikTok Organic. Create short, engaging videos about your products. Focus on showing the problems that your product solves, then the solution that it provides. No fancy equipment is gonna be needed, just your phone and good lighting. Next is through Instagram Reels. This is similar to TikTok, but it can be easier to build an initial following if you already have some Instagram presence. After that is Facebook or Instagram ads. Still effective, but more expensive than it was just a few years ago. So start with a small budget, around like $10 to $20 per day, and then scale only when you see positive results. So for beginners, I do recommend starting with organic social media. And here's why. It's free, it helps you test product interest before spending on ads, and it builds a following that you can market to again and again. But if you got some money to spend, I definitely recommend using paid ads. That's because paid ads, they drive even way more traffic, they're better at targeting your ideal customers, and you save valuable time. So when you are creating content, I want you to follow what I call the PPS formula. Starting with the first P, which is problem. You gotta start by highlighting a specific problem that your audience faces. Then the next P is pain. Amplify the emotional impact of that problem. And lastly, S for solution. Introduce your product as the perfect solution. And remember, the key is consistency. You wanna be posting at least once per day for 30 days straight. And I know this might seem like a lot, but just keep in mind, you're building a business, so you need to treat it like one. On a side note, I'd love to know what part of the process seems most challenging to you. Is it finding products? Is it building your store or creating content? Drop a comment down below and let me know so I can talk more about that in future videos. Now, the final step is to optimize and scale your business. This is where the real money is made. Once you start getting sales, you need to analyze your data to see what is working and what's not. Here, you wanna be paying attention to what products that are selling the best, the traffic sources that are bringing in the most customers, and of course, your profit margins after all of the expenses. And use this data to double down on what's working and to cut what's not. If one product is outselling everything else, focus more of your energy and your ad budget on that product. Then, as you start to scale, consider these strategies where you're adding in complementary products to increase your average order value, you're implementing email marketing to bring customers back for repeat purchases, and you're exploring new traffic sources to be able to diversify your customer acquisition. Because one of the biggest mistakes I see dropshippers do after seeing some initial success is not maximizing value per customer. They end up spending all of their energy on gaining new customers, which just is not sustainable in the long term. Look at it like pouring water into a bucket that is leaking from the bottom, where the water represents your customers. You see, you can pour in as much as you want, but the water level stays the same. You're essentially missing out on 2 to 3x in your business because previous customers never come back for more. And what's worse, you're spending all that time and energy finding new customers while just setting up an email system would patch up the leak and get you scaling without breaking a sweat. And that's exactly why I use OmniSend. This is a super effective email and SMS marketing tool that allows you to automate follow-ups to old customers so that they won't forget about your store. But besides that, it's also really great for sending follow-ups for people who ditched their cart. OmniSend allows you to maximize the value of a single customer, which is just as important to marketing to new customers. This is the tool that I personally use, as well as recommend to most of my students. So definitely make sure to go ahead and check it out, as the link is down below in the description. Now, the key to scaling successfully is reinvestment. In the early days, people used to reinvest at least 50% of their profits back into the business. Better products, more advertising, and tools that can save you time. So before you go crazy and you start spending all the profits, make sure to invest at least 25 to 50% back into the business so that you can continue to keep scaling. It's also essential to have some sort of backup fund just in case some emergency happens. So there you have it. The complete step-by-step guide to starting a Shopify dropshipping business in 2025. But here's the thing. While this information is powerful, information alone doesn't build businesses. Action does. So if you're serious about applying this, then you've got all the components of dropshipping success nailed down. But perhaps you feel like you need somebody to point out your blind spots during this entire process. Well, you're not alone. I know from experience that having the right guidance, it can accelerate your success by months or even years. And that's why I created my one-on-one mentorship program, to provide the personalized guidance, support, and accountability that can take you from zero to a profitable dropshipping business in record time. In my mentorship program, you'll get immediate access to personalized one-on-one coaching calls, access to my exclusive product research database, proven ad templates and copywriting formulas, a private community of successful dropshippers, and a step-by-step implementation plan customized to your specific situation. But I want to be clear, this program isn't for everyone. I only work with action takers who are serious about building a real business. So if that's you, which I'm sure it is since you're still watching, the link to apply is in the description. Now, spots are very limited, so make sure to apply now if you're ready to fast track your success. And remember, in 2025, dropshipping has evolved drastically, and the people who are thriving are the ones who've adapted to the new landscape. But if you actually apply what I've taught you here today and make sure to always improve moving forward, I can guarantee that you'll be thriving as well. I mean, think about the freedom that you'll gain just by implementing these steps consistently. You can finally quit the 9-to-5 job that you hate, travel the world, buy freedom for your family, and get the dream car that you've always wanted. All it takes is just starting today. Because remember, the beginning is always going to be the hardest. And then once you gain momentum, it gets so much easier. So with the right knowledge, the tools, and the mindset, you can build a profitable dropshipping business from scratch, even if you're starting from zero experience and minimal funds. And if you're ready to dive deeper, check out my next video on how to find $10,000 a month winning dropshipping products in 2025. It's linked right here, and it's also in the description down below. I'll see you at that video. This is AC with Supreme Ecom, and I'm out.